Lately I've been feeling things change. We've been working hard, no sleep, get it every day. And I swear that we ain't stopping till we pay. Yeah, the pressure on, gotta make it work, triple play, yeah.
This is Triple Play Fantasy Basketball Week 15, approaching next week. We're at 14. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm excited though. The MLK games are always exciting. What do you look forward to on MLK Day? Do you get off? Do you get to watch some basketball?
Yeah, we get off. Love watching some basketball. Wizards always play a home game. I'll never forget Gilbert Arenas hitting that game winner against the Jazz. I think it was 2007. Dropped 51 that day. I know you remember it, Coach.
Absolutely. What a throwback, man. That's a solid mensch right there. Those were the glory days as a Wizards fan, and we host Steph Curry, who just came back from injury. He's probably gonna hit like 10 threes. You heard it here first.
Only 10?
That's funny. Like I say that's like not shocking anymore. It's like, oh, 10, just 10. Just a regular 10.
You know what? Maybe the only reason it's under is because he's still coming back from that shoulder injury. They give him limited minutes.
Oh man. Yeah, but he doesn't skip a beat when he's out. And Looney still, I know his value goes down a little bit, but he's still getting high rebounds. And that team, I mean, they got him back just in time. I think they're gonna start rolling. They're gonna start rolling and maybe win some games outside of their home arena.
I was gonna say the division is wide open. Devin Booker is hurt. The Clippers are tumbling. Lakers are hurt. Kings are kind of sliding a little bit. Like that division is wide open for them.
And my middle school basketball team's hurt. We lost our best player in the first 2 minutes of the game this week. We lost in double overtime at the buzzer, and then we came back going the road against our rivals, and we lost by 2.
Sounds like there's a coach on the hot seat.
It was a rough week. All right, let's get to it. The games watched this week is weird. There's 2 teams that only play one game this week, the Pistons and the Bulls. So we're going to mention Hamidou Diallo, but this might not be the week to pick them up because they only got one game. The Bulls, so, if you're thinking about dropping Patrick Williams, it might be the week.
No, James, no.
2 teams with 2, the Spurs and the Magic. Maybe drop Jeremy Socon.
Yay! Approve.
Oh, man. That's not looking well for me. And then the typical games played, 11 teams have 3, 14 teams have 4. But then, look, the Raptors have 5. So we have 2 teams with 1 in the Pistons and the Bulls. And then the Raptors freaking play 5. So this might be a week you take lumps on your head because the other opponent has more games. Monday, Tuesday, back-to-backs, the Bucks and the Raptors. We talk about Pat Connaughton. He's somebody to look at. If you have an extra pickup this Sunday, maybe pick him up, get a couple games out of him. He's shooting a lot of threes. Let's look at our pickup candidates, and they're widely available in leagues. Gabe Vincent is taking over with Kyle Lowry out, Tyler Hero dealing with back issues, and when he has the opportunity, he produces very high at a fantasy level, as we saw last year. Hamidou Diallo, Isaiah Jackson, TJ McConnell, both benefiting from injuries with the Indiana Pacers. TJ Warren benefiting from injuries with Kevin Durant out, Damion Lee, Booker out. I mean, I guess the whole league is taking injury woes. But the T-Wolves maybe the most. Cat's out, Gobert leaves in the middle of the game, and then insert Naz Reid, the fantasy stud. When he gets minutes, he gives you defensive production. He can hit the 3. He gets boards. He shoots a high percentage, 17-7 against Cleveland when he got the opportunity. And we've seen him put some statistical monster games. And I know you probably broken ties with him if you picked him up earlier in the year because of the injury, but he's back now, and the opportunity looms this week.
We got to give a little bit of that caution with hitting threes, James. He's 2 for 10 in his last 2 games. That's an awful percentage. He's shooting well besides the 3. He shot 13 of 24 in total those 2 games, giving you 13 rebounds, 2 steals, a block. 28 minutes last game, and we saw when Kyle Anderson was hurt earlier. I mean, he was playing 25, 30 minutes consistently. So, yeah, I mean,
I
just
think
like you
it'll
said,
open up the threes, though. I know he's been missing them recently, but he has
shoot
made
or
them
shoot.
in his past. He's averaging 1 on the season, and even just 1 a game for a center is good. And he's shooting 56% on the year.
Okay, let me ask you a question, though. If he gave you 1 3 a game, what would be the minimum percentage you'd want him to shoot from 3?
I can't do that math.
Okay.
Right.
Like if he shot 20% from 3 but was giving you 1 a game, would you take that?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
But that's a small sample size. I think that's gonna go up.
He's 35% for this season, so he's
That's
obviously
good. That's what you want from a center. Gabe Vincent, he shoots a hell of a lot of 3-pointers. Last week, giving you 18 a game, 3 boards, 3 dimes, 57% from the field, a couple steals. He had 5 steals against Milwaukee. Of course, they played Milwaukee 2 times in Miami, and he was giving them the blues. 27 points and 28 points in back-to-back performances, 7 total steals. Pick up Gabe Vincent in the time being while Kyle Lowry's out.
So the Heat, I swear, and the Trailblazers have the shortest rotations. The Heat have been doing an 8-man rotation with people that include Orlando Robinson, Jamal Cain, and Haywood Highsmith. Those are 3 out of the 8 guys that have been getting consistent minutes. Spoelstra doesn't like going deep. So Gabe Vincent, the last 3 games, has been playing 40, 41, and 39 minutes. That's just guaranteed to give you opportunity. And like you said, James, 7 steals, shooting the 3, 10 threes the last couple games. And the percentage has been great also. Like, definitely pick him up.
I must say,
shooting guard eligible.
When you were talking about the short rotation, I was thinking, man, free Omer Yurt 7.
Oh, thank you.
Free him. Like last year, he was rebounding like he was Dennis Rodman. And then as soon as Bam came back, he was out of the rotation completely. And now, like you've mentioned, Orlando Robinson, give him the opportunity because he is a fantasy stud when he does play minutes.
Yeah.
And he's not hurt. Like, I digress. We move on. Hamidou Diallo, remember we said he plays 1 game this week. So we're probably going to talk well about him, but just keep that in mind that you might want to save the pickup for the following week. Last week, 16 points, 7 boards, basically 2 steals. We saw this last season when he got an opportunity. He could get you some steals, he gets you rebounds, and he shoots a high percentage. Probably not 76% from the field going forward, but last week he gave you numbers.
How you do, Hamidou? Welcome to the show. First time talking about you.
Oh my God.
Is this the part where you find a new co-host?
No, I like it, man. DeJounte Murray, like I like your nicknames.
Thank you. Hamidou Diallo giving you double-digit points the last 4 games. Like you said, shooting a great percentage, giving you a lot of boards. Those rebounds, 7, 5, 8, 7, giving you some good steals as well. Not going to give you many assists, averaging 0.9 on the season. Only has 1 game in the last 10 where he has over 1. But, you know, the thing with Detroit, they're out of contention this year. They're second to last in the Eastern Conference. They might just want to see who's on the future squad. So maybe they'll give him a little bit more run. And once again, James, they play 1 game this week. So like you said, just kind of put him on the watch list if you're wanting to maximize your spots.
Yeah, let's just say he's still developing his playmaking skills. And from one former Kentucky product to another, Isaiah Jackson, he's been freed. He's getting minutes. Miles Turner's out. And if you've had Isaiah Jackson in the past, when he's got an opportunity, you know that he is a blocks king. He gets more blocks per minute. It's got to be in the top 5. I'm rambling from the top of my head, but I mean, he just had 7 against Atlanta this week when he played.
And then followed it up with 4.
Yeah.
Only 4 blocks the next game.
So averaging, 4 blocks a game in the last 2 weeks. And as long as the opportunity looms, he's a must roster in category league because he in a single week can win you that category.
And I think what's notable too is Tyrese Halliburton got hurt. He's out at least 2 weeks. He did leave the game on crutches. Maybe this is the time where they finally trade Miles Turner. I know we've been speculating for a while, but if that team is projected downwards and they get rid of Miles Turner, Isaiah Jackson could be the main beneficiary of that. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, when they're sitting 8th in the Eastern Conference, it's a bad time to start, losing games. And because, like, you hate to be in the middle there, and the team is not going anywhere really, but you would like to get in the lottery and try to get another young player to pair with the Halliburton, and with the Mathurin, but. They're scrappy, and Carlisle, they're going to try to win. That's what Indiana does. And I see them holding it down and getting a top 10 spot.
Just one more note on Miles Turner. He's an unrestricted free agent in the offseason. So if the Pacers don't see them paying him, they might as well trade him.
I think he moves the needle a lot for any contending team that's planning on picking him up.
That was my number one guy heading into this season, then sprained his ankle in warmups opening night.
On the mascot.
Yep.
Shout out TJ McConnell. I know Doc is a huge fan.
Mm-hmm. Keep it going, James. Keep it going.
He has the most steals in the backcourt since they've been recording that stat. He's feisty, gets in your chest, he steals the ball, but 10, 6, and 6. He's a dime dropper machine, and he's been getting picked up 43%, 39% just this week. And with Halliburton out, he's swiping, he's getting dimes. What you like about TJ? He doesn't shoot threes, but it does everything else.
I mean, he doesn't shoot threes. You're right about that. He's shooting a good percentage, 18 of 31 the last 3 games. What I think is interesting is he's only averaging 25 minutes a game. So he's not even getting a starter's workload, but he's just been putting up great stats. I mean, the last game against the Grizzlies on the 14th, 13 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 steals in 24 minutes. Just imagine if that goes up. I mean, he's somebody, like we said, does it all. James, I want to ask, does he deserve a spot in the steals court? Should he submit his submission?
I think he's one of the founding fathers of the steals court.
In the steals court.
Yeah. Well, and they have a luxury at the guard position, and which makes those other players expendable. But we'll see if they send Buddy on the move. But Andrew Nebhard has shown that he is a very solid rookie point guard going forward. They got TJ Halliburton is on the way to the All-Star game. And we know how great of a season he's had. He might be most improved player of the year. So, but I think Indiana, of a lot of the teams, are ones to watch during this trade deadline. And we didn't even mention the fact that if Jalen Smith plays minutes, that he's a very, very good fantasy basketball player, but he's still not cracking the rotation, which boggles my mind on, are they thinking about moving him?
The one thing I would caveat with TJ McConnell, because I think Benedict Mathurin, like you said, Nembhard, Chris Duarte once upon a time, I think they're going to take the scoring workload. TJ McConnell has been putting up 13, 13, and 14 because he's been shooting well from the field. When he has his first 2 of 9 game, I don't think he's going to get the amount of shot attempts that you're looking for someone that to give you a lot of points. So from that perspective, more categories. But yeah, I mean, Indiana's just going to be super interesting to see.
Well, in this graph, he doesn't even mention what he did yesterday. He had 13 points, 8 boards, and 11 assists with 2 steals against Memphis. He's so tiny. How's he rebounding like this? It just shows his IQ, his savvy, his hard work. So this has become the TJ McConnell broadcast. We'll move on from one TJ to the next.
Ooh,
and do you know what TJ Warren? Do you know where the TJ comes from?
I don't.
His name is Anthony Jr. And so I guess it's for Tony. So I think it goes by Tony. It's weird how sometimes these names just play themselves out. But from one
TJ Warren sounds better than Anthony Warren. I can see why he did it.
And TJ, unlike TJ McConnell, he's just getting you buckets. So he's doing whatever the opposite end of it. He doesn't really get you any other stats here, but 20 points against Boston. He went berserk against Cleveland, but that was the 26th of December. The opportunity is going to be there, and actually, he looks good. He's been playing good basketball. They're trying to fill in the production by committee over there in Brooklyn, but he's an important piece of this puzzle if they want to stay afloat in the Eastern Conference.
Don't sleep on his stocks, but yeah, I mean, the rebounds and assists they're worse than Lou Dort numbers.
Yeah, so somebody watch. He's not my favorite pickup. Damion Lee, had himself a game against Minnesota. He had 31. He had 6 threes, and we were just been waiting for this to happen with the opportunity there with Booker out. And if he continues to shoot this well, you can give him a look. He does rebound pretty good as a guard. He's shooting guard, small forward eligible in the last week, averaging 18 a game. So he's worth a pickup if the opportunity there is there. And a 6% roster, you're going to find him in basically every league.
He finally shooting the damn ball. Like, he had the opportunities. He's taken 4, 5, 8 shots. The last 2 games, 12 and 17. They have nobody else to play. Damion Lee, I'm surprised it took you this long, buddy.
Man, you talk about shooting the ball. Pat Connaughton has been shooting like 10 threes a game. It's crazy. And he's not making all of them, but with that, the fact that he's shooting that much, I think the production is going to fall his way. I mean, he had 4 threes against Miami, 3 against New York. He could help win you those categories, and he's been rebounding at a very high rate over there playing for Milwaukee.
Everybody, you're welcome, because I bet on Pat Connaughton under threes, but when he takes 10 a game, he's bound to hit over 2.5. So I think I'm the one that set this trend moving forward. I mean, James, you hit it pretty accurate. The one thing to note too, and especially from the rebounding and steals perspective, he played college football at Notre Dame. He's just a natural born athlete. And I think sometimes when you do these kind of transitions from
he throws 90 miles an hour.
He throws 90 miles an hour. Like,
yeah, he got drafted.
he can just fit on a basketball court, and that's why he gets the minutes he does. So the shooting may fluctuate, but
right now he's shooting the worst percentage of his career, 36%. So like, I see that it's got to go forward. It's got to go up based on his shooting for his career.
But he's probably shooting more than he ever has too.
Yeah, he shoots 6 threes a game. He makes 2 of them. He shoots 31.5% from the 3.
Yeah, I mean,
I see those numbers going up.
He's jacking a little bit. Good for you, Patty.
He shot 46% from the field last year and 39.5 from 3. So I'm telling you, I feel like those percentages are gonna go up. He's a 36% career 3-point shooter, and this is the time it's trending upward.
He just turned 30 years old recently, so he's probably having a quarter midlife crisis where he needs to shoot the ball more.
Pat Connaughton, shout out the champ. Watch candidates. Jonathan Isaac, it's time to pick him up. He had 15 points in the G League in 15 minutes. Last time we seen him was in Disney when he got hurt, like what is that, 2020? It's been 2 years since we've seen him play basketball. Is it time to pick up good old Johnny Isaac?
No, because he's going to get hurt right away. You're going to waste a transaction doing it.
Man.
You're going to have to move him to the IR spot. We don't know what Orlando's doing. Man, James, is it fair to say Bol was the ultimate sell high candidate?
Yeah. I mean, if people were biting, I just think that was still a hard trust thing to do. But I want to see the lineup. I want to see Bol, Jonathan Isaac, Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner. I want to see them all out in the court together.
Who runs the point in that scenario? Markelle Fultz or Cole Anthony or Jalen Suggs?
Well, it ain't Jalen Suggs or Cole Anthony right now. Markelle Fultz has taken that job by storm, which makes you have a galore of trade assets. If you're looking, I mean, I would think that there's some contenders that want to see Cole Anthony come off the bench and be their kind of 6-man spark. I think he provides that. And we know how great of a rebounder he is, and he's got clutch gene too. He's hit game winners, and he's kind of just has that moxie that you want as a backup point guard. It's just, I think there's just not enough time, and the way Fultz is playing, they played their best basketball with him on the court. So, we mentioned our drop candidates, but I do want to see these lineups with Johnson. We're not telling you to pick up Isaac, just for the record. Don't do it. He's not going to play back in backs.
I want to ask you a question, because Jonathan Isaac hasn't played in over 2 years, and maybe people that are getting new to fantasy basketball haven't seen him play. When he's healthy, who would you compare his game to?
He's different. I don't know. He's a 6'10" block machine. So I don't know how I would compare it to him. Is he a poor man's Jaren Jackson Jr.? That's why he got that contract. Nah, Jaren Jackson Jr. is elite. I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is probably going to win the Defensive Player of the Year. The way he's blocking the ball, he's not that elite, but I guess you say poor man's. I don't know. He's not. He doesn't play as big either, but he does have some of those qualities. I know he averaged 2 blocks a game in that one season where he got that big contract after getting hurt.
Because when I brought it up, they said people also search for Jaren Jackson Jr. First thing, and 2019 averaged 2.5 blocks a game, 1.6 steals, 6.8 rebounds, shot 34% from three. That's just what kind of came to my mind. I guess
I just think
Google's
I
mind
think it's
also.
a nice fit with Paolo and Franz. That length, like defensively, that's just a problem. He doesn't have to be an offensive workload. I think that's where he was behind, but you take that much time off basketball, you got to improve your shot. You're in the lab a lot. So, we wish the best for him. That's kind of like what we've done on this show is wish the best for people that have had injuries or used to be really good. Looking forward to next weekend. The Suns and Raptors go back to back. So maybe you save a Damion Lee for a Saturday, Sunday next week to stream and, hopefully put you over the, three-pointers made category or something like that. All right. Well, hopefully my team puts it back together because these losses they're rough, man. They give me wrinkles in the face. I don't know what to do anymore.
They provide you wrinkles in the face, and they provide me smiles.
Oh, and I provide them wide open jumpers, and they're not making them. And that's what the game is. It's a make or miss league. And you heard it here. For Doc, I'm Coach Lou. Have fun watching some basketball. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Shout out. See you next week.
Lately I've been feeling things change. We've been working hard, no sleep, get it every day. And I swear that we ain't stopping till we pay. Yeah, the pressure on, gotta make it work, triple play, yeah.